pleasure to have you all with us. We got some guests with us today. I'm Dajon, as most of you may know, one of the hosts of... Yo, okay, see, this is the thing. Like, bro, he be dying. Like, see, that was a little chuckle. That's good. But he be dying. Like, bro. Count me down, Keith.
Come on, hold him down, please.
Count me down, Keith.
Yeah, he's utterly... He's
And we're not supposed to say that.
ridiculous.
No, I'm supposed to say that part together.
Episode, it don't make any sense. We can never get started.
9, 8,
From
7,
10? Come on,
6,
3.
5,
Come on,
4, 3, 2, 1, action.
That's not show business. You're not supposed to say one. First of all, you're not supposed to say one. You're supposed to say 5, 4, 3, 2.
I can't. I really can't.
Back for another episode. We're here. Great. Really? A side convo?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Action.
What are we doing? Yo, he's fucking terrible. Yo. Got it.
Welcome back, everybody.
I drew a blank.
This is your boy, Kevaan
Nervous.
Walton. I am so excited on today because we have a special show lined up for you guys. You know, we here with the male intuition, Dajon Alford.
How you guys doing?
You ready?
I'm ready. I am prepared. I'm happy to have you guys here. Today has been long, stressful, but I'm glad to be here. Couldn't be happier.
It's about to get crazy right here. We got the infamous goddess culture here with us.
They in the building.
You know what I mean?
You see
They
their
in the
hats?
building.
Can we get a close in on these hats?
Liddy McLit. I don't even use the word Liddy,
It's a special occasion for us.
but I heard Shaniece say it earlier, so I felt Liddy. Goddess culture. What is it? You know, tell us a little bit more about that.
What is goddess culture?
So basically, Goddess Culture is a podcast. Our goal is to empower, encourage, and embrace women through open and honest dialogue. And because Shaniece and I are Black women, it really comes from like a woman of color standpoint. We're on a journey to show you all how we live our best lives and hopefully inspire someone in the meantime.
That's Liddy.
That was pretty
I did it.
straight.
That's
that was
Liddy.
like straight from the website.
How many times are you going to say Liddy, though?
That was...
See, when you said it, I didn't.
Oh, you're right. You got it.
The topic for today is double standards. First of all, let's discuss what a double standard is, right?
Right.
Cool. And we could go around the table and start off with that. And I'll start.
That's fair.
In my mind, a double standard is when one person does something and it's okay, but another person does it and it's wrong. In this case, the male versus female. So a male can, let's just say, for instance, have sex with 7 women. And it's like, yo, he is that nigga. And a girl go have sex with 7 dudes, she is a hooker from Park Street.
Yep.
You know, it's like difficult.
And that's how Dajon takes it to the...
And that's
A hooker?
definition.
Okay. I like how you jumped it off. No, I like how you jumped it off.
You know me.
You got right to it.
It ain't no hot and cold with me. It ain't no hot and cold with me. It ain't no hot and cold with me. No.
Got that. No hot and cold.
Ain't no hot and cold with me. It's just, you know, we just in. Ain't no lukewarm. We warm.
I just think of the word hypocrite when I think of double standards, and so when
I like that.
yeah, when you hold a individual or a group to a value or standard in which you feel may be right for one, but then it's not okay for the other, which there's no silver lining, there's no equality across the board.
Cool. I want us to go around the room and kind of give some examples of what do males do that they often want women not to do.
Well, how about you tell us what you think is appropriate for you to do? What you don't think is appropriate.
Right.
What I think is appropriate for me to do?
And not appropriant for your significant other.
I see where you're going. And I'm going to cut that off from the door. You know what I'm saying? Hang my shit. You know what I mean? Have me just say how I feel I'm supposed to do, and she jump in. Well, let me tell you how. No. Try again.
That's the setup.
She is something else. One thing that I noticed this past weekend, you don't want to say any names or situation maybe, but one of my close friends, he truly was like, talking to his now fiance. He was talking to her and he was just like, I am the man of this house. Like, I run this, and it kind of pulled me back a little bit because I looked at her and I was just looking at how she was responding to everything. And it kind of made me feel like, how would it be if the roles were reversed? The way I'm looking at it is, okay, he's just jumping in saying, I run this. I run everything.
Does he?
I mean? This is what it is, X, Y, and Z.
Does he?
Does
he?
I don't really know
and what's
the
the definition
financials.
of run this?
Yeah, because like as a woman, I'm comfortable with having a man of the household, but at the same time, he's not a dictator. You feel
Right. Well, see, that's how I looked at it. It was like it was a dictatorship.
But see, it don't matter. It don't matter how you looked at it.
Right. It's what it really is. But that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering how this all transcribed because okay, if she said something to him, it was like, yo, you can't do that.
That's why you don't have those conversations in front of big companies.
Right.
Oh, for sure. But at the end of the day, I felt like there was a double standard there, in the sense that he could do something, but she couldn't do it, or if she tried to do it, she was out of place.
Well, it doesn't matter if he makes more money or if he pays all the bills. He still shouldn't talk to her like that.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a respect thing.
It is.
At the end of the day.
And it's what you tolerate.
But
Right.
see, it's hard to understand. It's hard to say that it may be a double standard because it wasn't like she did the same thing that he did for us to.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? To even say like.
And I can't really go into detail, because they're gonna watch the show. Hey, how you guys doing? But
let's take it in a different way. What are the most common double standards that we that we
The workplace.
I think really.
Yeah.
All right.
She said workplace. To that. Go into that.
Workplace.
Well, it's been like statistically proven that men, more so Caucasian men, make more than the average woman would make
for the same work.
For the same amount of work. And I feel like sometimes in the workplace, we always feel, as women, we feel like we have to work harder and we have to do more just to show that we can do that job.
That's funny because as a black man, I feel like I got to work harder too.
As a black man, period.
Right.
To me, it doesn't equate. But if there's somebody in my same position and he's getting paid more than me for doing the same thing,
doing the same job, you feel like you got to work harder and just overcompensate for that.
Well, then I would take it a step further, not to analyze it, but I would say that it depends on the type of industry that you're in as well, right? Because I'm in mental health, and that's a female-dominated field, and so
it also
all my execs are predominantly females. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm answering to all females. All my supervisors, all females. And when I come in, I want to be a soup. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not at soup level, but if I want to be at a soup, that means now I got to work that much harder and be on the level as the female. So I mean, I get it in a corporate sense though, because you got more in a corporate level. Yeah, then that's what we know.
Partially though, it does. Like qualification matters as well. You got to be qualified to do certain things.
Sometimes
some people come in and they just qualify. That's why I said partially, because sometimes people just know people.
Yeah,
and they be getting them. Okay, right. Because sometimes it's not actually. Most times it's all about who you know.
Right.
I got my job because of who I knew. Not to say I ain't go to school, like I did my shit, but I'm saying, I got it because of who I knew.
What
and
keeps you there.
Once I got in, I just made moves, but
I don't want to live in a fantasy world where I say that double standards don't exist anymore, but sometimes I feel like
they're balancing out. That's not to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but the numbers don't lie. I mean, granted, there are way more. You know what I mean? But I just feel like our generation, millennials, the way things are moving, I feel like it is maybe balancing. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's balancing.
I feel like the way shit is unraveling, bro, you could do whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
You could wake up and make a video and that shit pop tomorrow, and you making money. You know what I mean? And it's all about how you want to carry the wave. Some people die out, some people keep it going. Who's a little fat boy that was dancing? The boy be like, ooh, Terrio. He was lit, bro.
Yeah, where is he now?
We don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. He got paid. It's all about how you want to carry that wave. But I mean, we live in an era where you could really do whatever. You don't have to be corporate.
So what are some other double standards?
Man, let me just get into it because they beat around this bush.
I was gonna say I was gonna dive in, but
go ahead. Do your thing because you a guest.
Okay. How guys make a big deal about girls entertaining people. and like they want to talk to you, but they be like, oh, you entertaining such and such, but then they do the same thing, and they make it seem like it's all right.
And it's in everybody.
Yeah, like you be in your phone chatting, like you be on Instagram, Snapchat chatting, but
right. Yeah. I mean,
so why y'all make it seem like it's cool for y'all to be accessible, right? But we just gotta be sitting and waiting for y'all.
Right.
I think, okay, granted, cool. Yes, that is a double standard. But I do think it also always depends, like, because it's not just entertaining. It's like the whole sex thing, right? When a female cheats and when a male cheats, like we've had that conversation,
Right.
time and time again. And just to kind of, what I mean, like when females cheat, we feel like males feel like it's
the
more
end
an
of the world.
it's
Right.
a more of an emotional connection as opposed to a man.
When
a
men
man
do it, it's
cheating,
whatever.
just like, all right, physical
Well, who
act.
told y'all that?
No, because I mean,
That's just the
I'm just talking about
consensus.
from a man point of view.
For
The
us.
majority of the time, it's just physical component. I can. Anyway, I think it's just that whole premise behind it, right? Because when women entertain, it's just like, I don't know if, for me, I don't know if it's just like, not to say that I'm controlling or anything like that, because I'm not. You want to talk to whoever you can, but that in the back of your mind, it just be like, why the fuck is she entertaining this person? Like, why is she?
And she thinking the same thing.
Why is she?
Yeah, like in
why
my
is
mind,
he-
I'm gonna be like, why the
why
fuck
is
is he
he-
entertaining her?
I feel
why
like
is-
I feel like okay, let me agree off the bat. It is a double standard.
It is.
It is a double
it is,
standard,
it is.
110%. Now, but it's more of a macho thing. It's like, okay, she digging me, she should be into me, not no other niggas.
So you could be into everybody else, though.
right, like you
But
can be
that-
for everybody,
just
but
be-
she can't.
That's not what I'm
None
saying.
of us-
I'm
but-
trying
That sounds
to.
like what
I'm
you're
trying.
saying.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm a flirt. I'm toned it down a lot.
Right. That's just your
I
personality.
told it, but that right. But because I'm a flirt, it comes off as that I'm genuinely interested in all these other.
Right. And you're
but
not.
I'm not.
And you're not. And you're not.
Like I flirt with the grandmas at the grocery store. Like
Right.
that's just
Right.
It's just
You
what
be a
I
cashier.
do. If you at the sneaker store, you could be butt ugly, but if I think I'm gonna get that discount,
I'm talking. Just went to Adidas. Chick terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible.
horrible.
I'm going to see Wolverine. What are you doing today?
Oh my god.
That girl said, I'm just chilling, whatever. I'm like, yo, you are so funny. Like, so what discount you got today?
Okay, you say that like while you're at the Adidas store, and I get it doesn't go any further than that. But my issue is after the Adidas store interaction is over, and then y'all texting or something, or y'all on Snapchat.
That's
You
a
feel
lot.
what I'm saying?
That's
Then
a
that's
lot.
different because it's like if I were to meet a guy at a sneaker store and
But y'all together? Are you talking about if you like?
So you
with
talking about nigga
somebody?
that you with?
I can't even say not even necessarily because
Somebody that you deal with.
because if you with somebody, then that's off limits. Period.
I was about to say,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's
about
not
to
even.
say that. I was
That's
about
not
to
even.
say
That's
that.
not even a
I was
question.
about to cut that off from the
No,
door.
that's not a question. But it's like when y'all in that phase when y'all like I don't know. I guess
Talking.
y'all talking whatever
Right.
and. I don't know. I guess one party, or maybe y'all both want to move forward.
Well,
but you're
for that,
That nigga
I
corny.
would say,
Corny.
I would say,
Corny.
number one, off rip, he corny. If that is an issue, that boundary has to be set.
Right.
Somebody has to say, listen, I understand that we just talking, we start off and stuff like that, but I like you, and I'm actually trying to see where this
That's the
can
mature
go.
thing to do.
That's the mature thing to do.
Right.
Because most people don't do that.
Right.
Most people sit back and they just kind of let
Like,
things
let it
unravel,
happen.
and they just assume that other person know. You know what I mean? Even though he not thinking to himself, this is a double standard. He just doing him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you got to make that clear from the door. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not doing it, so I would like it if you weren't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
As an individual, and I think honestly, if we really get deep, it's an insecurity factor.
Oh, of course.
But not
Of course.
not even going all the way there. But if you just
no, we could go there.
but I'm just saying
Because
like,
I'm short.
I know-
and if you,
I know
if
my-
I see you
I know-
talking to a tall nigga, we have issues.
it's like perspective. When you driving in the driver's seat, you got the wheel, right?
Right.
You driving all crazy, you know you got the wheel, you good, you comfortable.
word.
Whoever in that passenger seat,
They don't know.
they are scared shitless, right?
Right.
But if they was behind the wheel and they was driving wild
be the same
crazy,
thing, vice versa.
they would feel in control, right? So when you are talking to someone, you know that you're not really interested, so you don't really care. It's
That's a good way to put it.
It's not a big deal to you because
Right.
you're like, I'm not really into her.
Right.
But from the perspective,
Right.
It look crazy.
yeah, it's like
it look
It
wild
look
as
crazy.
hell.
It look
Yeah.
crazy.
You know, I want to real quick. It was a post that I seen because I want to switch directions. Another double standard that was common that I thought was interesting, right? So I read a post today on IG, and it was a dude who posted. He was like, "As I'm getting older, I'm becoming more softer," right? And I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, "Where's he going with it?" You know what I'm saying? Like, and so as he's becoming older, like, you know what I mean, like, especially if you're from a urban area or the hood or something like that, you feel like, you know,
can't show that kind of emotion.
You can't show that type of emotion, right? But as he's becoming a man, he is, you know, becoming softer, and he's exposing and having that emotional balance, that, you know, that good space where he can express how he feels and and feel comfortable in that, right? When is it too much? You know what I'm saying? Or why is it not okay? Is it still not okay? You know what I'm saying? For men to like do that, because when women express their emotions, they either, you know, batshit crazy, but it's okay because they women. Right? You know what I'm saying? If they express how they feel and stuff like that. But if a man do it, it's like he in his feelings.
Well, first of all, we were just talking about this.
Feelings. Men are always in their feelings.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
I like that, Shaniece. I like that. I like that.
I think we have to start by recognizing the fact that regardless of if you're a man or a woman, it's okay to express yourself. And I think the problem where we see men lashing out and yelling and blocking and doing all this stuff is because we don't have a good space for them to feel comfortable expressing themselves emotionally and like talking things through, or even saying, I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we put this thing on men where they always feel like they got to be in control of everything, or like just have it all together, when nobody is, you know, no one's at a point where we can always have it all together.
Shaniece touched on it. You know, all dudes is emotional.
Yeah.
You ain't real if you ain't got no emotions. Everybody got emotions.
They have the most emotions.
The most. Listen, I'm a dude. I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all about how you want to go about showing it. You know what I'm saying? Because some things I do agree with, some things I don't, like, just don't agree with. You know, I know some dudes that are way too emotional. What I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, most men are raised to not be emotional. So that's why it's always a struggle for them to be emotional. Once they're in a relationship, they look for different ways to lash out, i.e. blocking,
that's when you know you're in
screaming.
I agree with your first part, that, you know, men are raised to not be emotional, but I think that's a learned thing. And then they put it into different avenues, like they're blocking you. They're stalking you.
Right. I think it takes a guy being comfortable with someone to the point where he knows he can reveal his true feelings.
But how long does I know it's different for every man, but how long
they got?
What's an acceptable?
It's not even. Maturity is probably the biggest part, but it's not really a timetable for it. It's really about trust. You know, you got to be around somebody that you trust
to be able to be that
let those emotions out.
Yeah.
I just met you, and I could tell myself, you know, yeah, she from Narcy, but maybe I can show my emotions. I cry in front of you. Look at this bitch nigga. Now I'm in y'all group chat. This bitch nigga was crying. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I could be around you and you say, Dajon, it's okay. Cry on this shoulder. You know what I mean? And now I'm crying in front of you. You know what I mean? It's like different. It's all about who you trust. It's all about who you feel that you can let those emotions out with. Because you can't do that with everybody.
The reason it's a double standard is because if women, not the fact that, okay, you have to be open with somebody or comfortable with somebody to open up and emotionally. That's not the argument. That's not the double standard. The double standard is, if a man does it, why is it even an issue or a conversation that men have to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to women, if they open up comfortable or not, it's just, okay, that's cool. It's a woman thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a man does it, then it's like, oh yeah, we gotta, it's not necessarily okay, and so that's why now we gotta make it okay. Like, why is that even a double standard?
Right.
And that's really why we're trying to create the space that we have. And though like goddess culture, so it sounds like it's very like women based, but we open that conversation up to everybody because we all need those spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally, when I see it in my, I think I started paying attention more when I see like my brothers. Like, one of my brothers just had surgery. I'm like, how you doing? He's like, I'm all right.
But he hurt.
Why are we
I'm that
laughing?
nigga in the hospital, like, please give me some crushed ice.
Some crushed ice.
Right now. Like, I'm hurt. Not for real, seriously. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's me being comfortable with who I am, though.
Right. So I just wanted to, I say this to say, when the time does come for like me to have kids, and, you know, if I do have sons, I want to make sure they know it's okay, like, out the gate. If they're feeling something, it's okay to express that, or it's okay to feel that way. I don't want them to have to grow up and be 30 oh, I'm just now learning how to be vulnerable.
And that's not a bad thing, you know, and, you know, hopefully, you know, I pray for you in every way. You know, if you do get to a point where you get married and you have kids, you know, that you got the father there too.
Right.
Because you want to instill certain things in him as a young man, so that when he grows up, he can carry on these, what's up?
What?
I do pray. I pray for everybody.
Nah, man, I love that.
I'm just saying. I'm serious. If she get to a point where she have kids and the father's there, you know what I'm saying?
I've never seen this side of Dajon.
You want to,
you know what I mean? He just.
This is why you can't be emotional. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you cannot show you. I'm trying to be kind-hearted.
So why can't
and I'm being blasphemed.
I feel like men know how to talk out their emotions. You guys are just ridiculous.
You want to raise your son to have, to be manly and be strong and be tough. But at the same time, it's not a problem with you saying, yo, it's all right to cry. Like, it's okay. It's all right. But at the same time, protect them too. Like, don't send your son to school and say cry whenever you feel like it. Like, children spend a lot of time, like, not home. People don't realize that. Mm-hmm. They spend a lot of time with you, but a lot of time, once they become of age, they start going to school, at school programs, whether they play a sport, anything. It's a lot of time away from you. You want to set them up to the point where they're in their best, you know what I mean? Like that they can cope and they can deal with being away from you, you know what I mean? So nurturing is absolutely fine, but at the same time, you just want to remember, you can't put them in a position where they're too emotional. I spoke about it earlier a little bit, but I want to dive into it a little bit.
What do you mean by sex? You mean by gender, like sex?
I mean guys versus women having sex, that double standard. I think that's the biggest double standard.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I definitely agree.
Women having sex with multiple people, she's a hoe. Mm-hmm. Guys have sex with multiple people, he's that dude. I want to touch on that.
And that's so stupid to me.
Honestly, I feel like
I don't think that is. Well, no.
That is a double standard.
It still exists.
That double standard
take
exists.
That whole Nikki,
regardless
that whole
of however
situation where right, exposed.
Right, exactly. That double standard does exist.
Yeah.
But I don't think people care.
What?
That's
men care the most. Maybe not y'all, but men care.
Women might act like they don't care and let it go, but they care too. Men care.
Well, yeah, STDs,
y'all be so butthurt.
Right. Right. Exactly. And you want to know?
So what?
Y'all be so hurt.
Oh, did you say butthurt?
You said butthurt.
I did, but
like, somebody tried to correct it. No, we need to address that. What is butthurt?
Yeah, and define that.
Do you judge someone based off their body count? Anyone?
I'm petty. So if I don't judge off the number, I'm judging off who the people are. I'm sorry.
Is it out loud judge, or are you judging in your head?
Let me see this nigga.
Which isn't fair though, because everybody got.
It's like the wood. It's like the wood. You let that nigga Teddy in. I know you gonna let me hit. You know what I mean? It's like something like, and this is me personally. If I'm not looking at the number, I'm looking at who. You know what I'm saying? Because then if I know this nigga be getting around, now I'm on Shaniece level. I'm like, all right, we need to get this checked out. You know what I mean? We got this checked out. You know what I mean? I'm not really big on the whole number thing, like, because.
Right, because if you think of your own body count number, how
when you get in that situation,
like Kevaan just said, you're
meet
grown,
somebody,
though.
right?
You're grown.
I'm 27. I meet somebody that's 28, bruh. Like, I mean, you look at me like, well, that's too deep. But you look at somebody and they could be 28, 29. They lost their virginity when they was 18. That's a lot of years. So
we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up, man, because that was a great conversation. What's up?
What about kids? I'm sorry, this is the last one.
What about them?
Why men with kids, I feel like, get a better rap than female with kids?
That's true.
But let's say I saw a dad taking care of his kid.
I know he's about his shit.
Yeah, now I'm gonna look at you like you responsible. Like if I had kids, you gonna take care of them. Like
okay, now what if?
Let me
ASAP. It's about to happen.
Now, fellas,
but that doesn't
you only got
them
one weekend.
Yo, no, that doesn't take away from a woman at all. Let's just throw that out there.
I'm just saying. Now, what about
that
all
could
those
have been
men
that
out there
one visitation
got that
weekend? Y'all
one weekend.
That could have been his one visitation weekend. Y'all just so happened to see him at the Krispy Kreme.
That's why you don't jump in head first with anybody right away.
Yeah,
but you can't.
But you booked already because you was attracted.
I'm gonna talk and then you start having a conversation. You figure out if he's a dummy or not.
What if he's not?
It's not attractive to date someone who doesn't take care of their shit. If you're hanging out with me every weekend, I'm like, where's little Day or something?
Right, exactly.
Like, why you not hanging out with your
And I'm
kid?
one of them people, like,
even
if you don't have kids, like, I know people with kids, nieces, and nephews, and I still be like, oh, you seen so-and-so lately? Like, you shoot so-and-so, mama text, you know it's so-and-so's birthday, go see your godkids. Like, that's me. So if I know you have a child, and I know you have a child.
Why is it different with women though?
Yeah.
Because when people see women with kids, you be like, damn, she a hoe.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't
not
be
necessarily a hoe.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying.
But it's not attractive.
It's not the same attractive as a guy.
Because I feel like a man probably thinks that's.
I'm gonna just tell you off rip.
She's taking care of her kids.
Because I mean, for me,
because you don't want nobody with kids.
No, it's not that. It's not that. But
So say what you
I would
say.
want you. I'm about to say. Let me say it. What? It's not that. It's just that for me, like, I want the woman that I be with. I want her to bear my first child. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
I just don't want no
That's-
attachments
I want
to
her-
no
I want her to
nigga
bear
that
my
ain't got
first child.
shit to do with me and my crib. You, at the end of the day, once you have a kid with somebody, regardless of how you
You're
feel,
attached for life.
you are with
For
that
life.
other person for life. That motherfucker don't even gotta live with you.
Yeah, but
You
it's
are
not-
attached to him for life. If he can
childish.
call at 3 a.m. in the morning while you with the new nigga and say, I need to talk on the phone with my son. You can't ignore that nigga.
You know-
For me, it's mainly the attachment to the other person.
You're insecure.
I'm just, you're funny. I wish she had met me a little bit before this.
And that is the conclusion of the male
You
intuition.
bugging.
Thank you for tuning
You
in.
bugging.
This was a great show. We appreciate you for watching.
We love it.
We love it. Make
Thank
sure
you so
you
much
check
for
out
tuning
Goddess
in.
Culture. Where can they
We had a
find y'all
pleasure
at?
with Goddess
iTunes,
Culture.
SoundCloud, anywhere. You can follow us on Instagram at Goddess X Culture and on Twitter and Facebook, everywhere. So yeah.
And our
And what do you
website-
guys individuals
Oh.
sites?
Well, first, our website is
Or-
goddessxculture.com.
Oh yeah, check out our website. We have a shop page and everything. You want to get our cute little hats that we have, and we also have apparel.
Yep.
And some other stuff dropping real soon.
But my personal Instagram is JAY_LASOUL. J Lasso. I almost said Twitter, but you know I don't really want people on my Twitter.
Right,
Okay.
and mine is
King Shane
King Shan _
X.
some X.
Yo,
Yeah, so
Just go to Goddess Culture, you'll find us.
yeah, we're all over.
Dajon.
Thank you so much for
What-
tuning in with the
Dajon,
Male
where can they
Intuition.
find you?
You can find me on Snapchat. Dajon, Dajon.
You changed it.
Thank you. Where can we find you?
You changed it.
Who are you?
You changed it.
Wait, what was it before?
Thanks for tuning in.
I feel like
so
I
much
remember
for tuning
hearing it, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. Something about being the realist with a three.
Yeah, we got. First of all, I was a sophomore in college. Give me a
You
break.
said it was what?
I was a sophomore in college. It was.
Thank
Y'all
you
can tell
for
me
tuning
I'll be
into
after the
the
show.
male
Okay.
intuition, and that's a wrap, folks.
That's it.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys next week.
Yes, but because people don't say that, because as an adult you're expected to act a certain way. Kids will be kids gives the connotation that it's
They can act their ass
okay.
because
They can
they're
do
kids.
dumb shit because they're kids, which is a double standard.
Adults are expected to act a certain way too, but
It's a double standard.
But we have love and hip hop.
It's a double standard.
But we have love and hip hop.
That'll make
Basketball
it.
wise.
That'll make it good, though.
Could you see your mother jumping across the table to go fight somebody or throw a bottle of wine? No, but that's not. You probably could see it, but that's not right though. But that don't make it right though. But that don't make it right. But that don't make it right. Like I don't